Hey everyone, today we are talking about 2020 trends and predictions. A lot of this data comes from eMarketer, and we're talking about connected television, the rise of digital audio, the flattening out of Facebook engagement, and the changes that will happen as 5G becomes the norm. Let's go. Hey everyone, as we get into 2020, we're in the last few weeks here of December 2019, let's talk about some takeaways and predictions for 2020 marketing and advertising efforts. And I'm going to move the screen to 6 takeaways from eMarketer's 2020 predictions plus my take. So this is something that I posted earlier today on LinkedIn. And really this is a view of eMarketer had a webinar. They also have some documentation reflecting their predictions. And we're going to talk about the things that are particularly important for advertisers. And my point of view as an operator of a trading desk. So the first element here is consolidation continues in advertising technology. The key point here is that Facebook, Google, and Amazon represent a triopoly. They're the walled gardens, the organizations that capture the vast majority of media spending. And the net takeaway here is that, well, number one, these three walled gardens are going to continue to be incredibly important into 2020, especially as privacy rules require certain types of handling of consumer data. And so advertisers are going to continue to flock to Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Facebook for display ads, Google for search. Google, despite how big AdWords is, despite the fact that they have display advertising, the reality is that Facebook is the leader in display advertising, and Amazon has really some really fantastic 20 years of sales data. Okay. Now you're going to have, and this started in, this was happening in 2020, but you definitely will have a continuation of mergers and acquisitions for companies to compete with the largest companies in the world: Facebook, Amazon, and Google. So Vox and New York Times, Vice and Refinery 29, Roku bought Data Zoo. So I think that's really interesting, particularly for Roku, because Roku is the dominant connected television advertising platform in the marketplace. It has about 30% of the ecosystem right now, and Amazon Fire Stick is definitely coming up there in terms of dominance. So it would be really interesting for me to see a way for us to buy Roku inventory directly through Data Zoo, which is cool. Roku has a self-service platform right now, but Roku's self-service ad buying platform is really much more about buying sort of like banners that link back into Roku. I want to see the ability to buy Roku inventory directly through Data Zoo, or certainly other platforms like MediaMath and the Trade Desk. This is interesting. Facebook engagement time flattens. And what you can see here, and I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit, is you have engagement time on Facebook. In black is Snapchat. So in 2020, you're going to have about 27 minutes a day of time on Snapchat per user who are 18 plus. And then 33 minutes a day for Facebook users. And certainly this is an average, right? So there's plenty of people I guarantee spend a lot more time on Facebook than that. But you see it kind of like flattens out and it drops, right? So it's about 33 minutes a day into 2021. In 2021, another eMarketer report says that Facebook is looking at a $42 billion industry, right? So it continues to be an incredibly dominant player in the marketplace, right? But you're going to see platforms like Snapchat, and I think Snapchat is one of the most undervalued platforms in the marketplace right now. It has incredible, gorgeous scale. It's much less expensive than Facebook ads, and does well. We sell tickets on it, and I like Snapchat a lot. And then secondly, you have TikTok. TikTok is not mentioned in this platform, in this report. I think a lot of TikTok's data is simply just not available. They don't make it available. But I suspect, especially among, 12 to 20-year-olds, TikTok is taking up a vast majority or a large amount of mind share to audiences 12 to 20. And even I'm on TikTok, and there's other older people. I'm 38. It's like, Blade Runner. If you're past 30, man, be careful. There's a lot of people on TikTok that are older, but the vast majority of audiences are definitely like that 12 to 20-year-old age. I think what's interesting there is two things on TikTok, and this is why I think literally every business person should be on TikTok. Number one, TikTok is either going to become the next Snapchat or the next Facebook, and you're going to have an evolution of the types of people who are on these platforms, or so age up, right? So if you stake out the inventory today, you're going to have an opportunity to really benefit from the leverage you'll have in the next 1 or 2 years. If it flames out like Vine, and I loved Vine so much, I had 200,000 followers on Vine, it was fantastic. But if it flames out like Vine, what you'll end up doing is learning the information and the ways of that work for TikTok, and the next platform after TikTok becomes the big thing. And now you still have an advantage because you have innate knowledge of how these platforms work. So I think TikTok should be there. Facebook engagement flattens. Facebook isn't going away. It continues to be an incredibly important platform for advertisers and consumers. So let's talk about this, the new cable bundle. What I like about this is, I've definitely seen commentary in my news feeds, probably on Facebook, about how there's a lot of competition in the marketplace. We're kind of in a, I wouldn't say this industry, this over the top or streaming television is mature, but I will say that it's definitely becoming a competitive marketplace. Certainly Netflix is the dominant player there, but you can't argue with the value proposition of Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus and Prime Video and CBS All Access. So I still believe that we in my household we have Netflix, we have CBS All Access, Prime Video, we have Showtime, we have HBO, we have like BritBox or something that my wife likes to watch. This is still substantially less expensive than paying for cable, and much more of a value proposition because I get the content that I want. But it's definitely getting crowded. You have properties like Pluto TV, Tubi, Vudu, who are ad-supported platforms. Crackle's another one. Roku has a channel there. So I look at these and I say, this is definitely the new cable bundle, and fragmentation is now becoming a challenge, right? Like you have so many different people, especially Netflix and I guess Disney Plus, that don't have, these are not ad-supported environments. You got to find other places to reach these consumers, and certainly Twitch, Facebook, YouTube are great places to do that. And it actually emphasizes the importance of YouTube and YouTube TV in the advertising ecosystem and the ability to reach customers with video. I love this slide. I think the omni-channel opportunity for advertisers is incredibly important. We'll talk about this at the takeaway. What this is saying is that in 2020, in radio, there are going to be 79 million radio consumers and 83 million digital audio consumers. So this is saying that more people are going to consume digital audio than are going to consume radio. I can tell you just anecdotally, focus group of one, that when I'm in the car, I rarely listen to radio and I'm listening to a podcast because I continue to keep my mindset where it needs to be, listening to podcasts that keep me revved up and motivated as I go throughout my day. And what's driving the accessibility here for advertisers is richer consumer targeting. So, we have 500,000 different data segments that we can target for banners, for video ads, and we can do the same for digital audio. So if I want to reach someone who walked into a Bank of America and I want to reach them with an audio ad, all I have to do is target people who walked into Bank of America or who bought Oreos at the supermarket. I can serve ads to those people, or who have a certain type of lifestyle or live in a certain type of home or are about to take a trip to the Caribbean. I have the ability to target those people on digital audio channels. So it becomes much more of an audience targeting opportunity. And the ads appear on like iHeartRadio, Kiss FM, Power 106, the digital audio streams of that, not to mention Pandora, Spotify, etc. Larger volume of audiences, that's what the data shows, which then results in more scale, right? More people, more ad opportunities, and automation. I can buy these ads through the trade desk. I no longer have to rely on individual sales reps, right? So massive opportunity. This is the digitalization of digital audio. So this is much more of a technical thing than a sort of advertising thing, but there are implications. 5G, it looks just based on this data from IHS Market, and this is delivered again through eMarketer. By 2023, there will be 424 million worldwide 5G mobile consumers. And the impact here is instant reactions. So instant reactions are really interesting. Instant reactions basically are that whenever you do something like with a haptic touch, like if you guys remember Ready Player One, where like something you could put on a suit and you could like feel something that was happening in the game. Those reactions become instantaneous. Right now, with the way broadband is set up, there's often a lag. Like you make phone calls, there's a lag. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes to download a movie, which is still fast, but the download speed becomes instantaneous. Like you can download a whole movie in like a minute or two, right? It's amazing. Instant reactions gives you the ability to understand how things are happening in what appears instantaneous. So in 1 or 2 milliseconds. So imagine the opportunity where you have the ability to have surgery. You're in New York conducting surgery in London because you're the specialist and you have to be in New York, but the actual physical thing is happening in London, right? Like that's what can happen in 5G technology. We're also seeing the possibility that this is going to lead to the adoption of autonomous driving, because autonomous driving requires near instantaneous reaction times, right? So that's incredibly important. So this will usher in, I think, a set of societal differences or changes, evolutions that are going to be mind-blowing over the next 10 years. And here's some more details. So faster throughput speeds, download and uploads takes fractions of today's time. So downloading a movie in 1 or 2 minutes. Lower latency, so immediate or near immediate responsiveness. So this will have an impact on gaming, for example. Like you can like nudge someone and someone on the other side of the world will feel the nudge on whatever haptics thing you might be wearing immediately. So that's really interesting. Massive connectivity. This speaks to having the ability to connect like thousands of devices rather than connecting hundreds of devices. And you notice this at airports. And other, like I noticed this on T-Mobile, like in other high density, like at Dodger Stadium, high density, high traffic areas, like the internet speeds start to like collapse. Like it can't get online sometimes because there's just so many people on the network. So you have, that will be eliminated. So it's truly like ubiquitous internet connectivity. And then more reliability. So you're not going to have as many drop calls. Maybe finally we'll get like near perfect call quality. And then finally, this is live streaming, reinvigorates video. So the idea here is in 2020, 115 million live video viewers will be in the United States. So the opportunity for brands and marketers is live video demonstrations, tutorials, product reveals, just much more interactivity. And certainly there are ad opportunities in all of these, but like, you remember the Jetsons and the fact that anyone could place a video call and connect one-to-one. And we certainly have that today with FaceTime and the different connectivity opportunities. I think the data shows that this becomes sort of exponentially more interesting as more advertisers take advantage of live streaming throughout the US and around the world. So here's my take. Here are my points on this. Our business is predicated on bringing the best technology and capabilities that are available to Fortune 500 brands and making them available for small and mid-sized brands. And I look at connected TV, digital audio, and digital out of home, and I'm saying, like, every restaurant, every mom and pop business, every brand that can't even walk in the door at a massive ad agency has now the ability to broadcast their commercial on Hulu, Roku, DirecTV Now, Samba TV, to a 5 mile radius where their high net worth value consumers live. And digital audio, right? We talked about the value of digital audio. So we're redefining what it means to be media, and all media, with the exception of print, is becoming digital, and it just fundamentally democratizes how advertising can happen for small and mid-sized advertisers. And we see that as a massive opportunity. 5G is a driving force behind a societal change. I'm thinking, and my reference here is Ready Player One, haptic communications, the evolution into autonomous driving, and the ability to conduct surgery all over the world. Those are just 3 examples. We're sitting here 10 years from now thinking, wow, the world has dramatically changed because of 5G. I've started a podcast. You can go to labusinesspodcast.com and you can hear about how companies grow and scale their business. That is my interest. And now is a great time to start a podcast because you have more people listening to audio than they have listening to radio. You get to be the person to host the party. You get to benefit from other folks' social cachet, and you get to learn. Make your business an editorial review of your industry to develop your own brand and your own conversation and own the conversation. So this is another strategy that we're deploying in 2020. Thinking much more like a news publication, a digital advertising or digital marketing news publication, rather than we're an ad agency. The idea here is education, value-driven content marketing, and sharing information, because our belief is that sharing information to the world gives the world an opportunity to be a better place. And secondarily, I think business will come from that, even though on any individual transaction or communication or writing, I don't expect anything from it. But in aggregate, it builds reputation, it builds a personal brand, and it builds opportunity for businesses on other consumers to understand what we stand for, who we are, and what we do. And I think that's applicable to every company, B2C, B2B. And then pay attention to voice marketing. So voice on Alexa, Siri, whatever the dominant player is in the next 5 to 10 years. The takeaway here is that brand is going to be very important. And if you go to Alexa and you say, get me a hamburger, Alexa or Siri or whoever it's going to be is going to give you either the product that company owns, the pizza company or the burger company that Amazon owns, they own Whole Foods, or you ask for a Five Guys burger, and that's the power of brand. So there is no time like the present to build yourself a brand for your name. If you don't own a company, build a brand for yourself. If you own a company, I would still say build a brand for yourself, or build a brand for the organization, with creating videos, with writing stuff up, and with creating audio like the podcast. So that's the story. 2020 is going to be, I think, an interesting year. I wish everyone lots of opportunity, prosperity, and success. Talk to you soon.